Hi Brisa, I hope you had a great weekend. I'm sorry I couldn't post your video last week. I had some Wi-Fi issues, but hopefully you did get the letter I sent you on the Google Doc that had all of the commentary about your essay. Before we get started, I'm going to do something unrelated. So we have a fun fact of the week, and this week's fun fact is that Grover Cleveland was our only U.S. president who served two non-consecutive terms. What that means is that he was president twice, but not twice in a row. So he was both our 22nd and our 24th president. Now that we've got that out of the way, we can start on your essay. So I'm looking at your final draft, and it looks like you've done a really good job once again on writing very descriptively. So good job with that. And also I noticed that you've used a lot of quotation marks. So you actually did that correctly, which is I'm glad. That's a slightly more sophisticated thing in grammar. Like I know a lot of college students who do it wrong. So that's good. That adds some depth to your writing. You are continuing to have some spelling errors, and there are a few different types that you're having, just, basic issues with, I don't know how this is spelled. So when you're typing especially, I would go ahead and use spell check. It makes things a lot easier, and that way you can make sure you're not making tiny little mistakes. And I would just remind you of a couple of little spelling rules. Obviously English is a little weird, so they don't always work out, but they're a good rule of thumb. So the first one is just to remember that usually I comes before E in words except after C. So, it won't be like EI, it'll be IE. So keep that in mind. You also spell words that end with the shun sound wrong. So it's T-I-O-N. So words like motion and competition are spelled T-I-O-N. And you have a couple instances of spelling errors related to that in your essay. I've highlighted some of them. I would go ahead and check the rest of your paper to make sure you're getting all of them. But yeah, be mindful of that. Also, just so you know, the word since is spelled S-I-N-C-E. Science is one of the few words that's S-C-I. So usually I would avoid using that. You also have started several sentences with the word so, and I understand where that mistake comes from. It's not uncommon to speak to people and begin with, so I was walking, and that's fine when you're talking, but it's not grammatically correct, so you don't want to write like that. You just go ahead and look for sentences where you begin with that word. For instance, there's one right here where you put, so when Alice and Emily saw Nicholas, and it goes on. Just remove the word so from that sentence and start with when, and that's pretty much fixed. I would be mindful also that in that sentence you've mixed up doing and having. So you wrote, they were thinking of doing a competition, when you need to be putting, they were thinking of having a competition, because you don't do a competition. You can compete, that's a thing you do, but the actual competition is an event. So, you have a party, so you would also have a competition. Hopefully that makes sense. The last spelling and grammar thing that turned up a lot was the misuse of there. So as you know, there are three different types of theirs. There's the T-H-E-I-R, T-H-E-R-E, and T-H-E-Y''re. And down here, I've just kind of separated them out, put their meanings, and then given an example. So T-H-E-I-R is the possessive. So if it belongs to you or them, you would use their. So, for example, it was their gift. Then there's T-H-E-R-E, which is place or position. So, for instance, the TV is over there. That's the correct use of that. And the last one is the contraction, T-H-E-Y''re, which is just they are. So they're running is a good example of that. Hopefully that clears everything up for you. So just as a recap, you've done a really good job at writing a descriptive essay. I would check to make sure that it fits the prompt. You want to make sure, in this case, that you're depicting characters from the Canterbury Tales in modern day life. So you want to kind of spend some time talking about the differences in the cultures. That's what your teacher wanted you to do, but as far as the writing is concerned, it was really well delivered. You had mostly pretty well structured grammar. There's mostly just spelling errors that you need to pay attention to. I think if you work a little bit more on that, you'll have much clearer writing, and it'll allow the reader to have more attention focused on, the style of writing that you have, which is, you're doing a good job. So good work, and I hope you have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing your next essay. Bye.